We've all heard those strange stories about cats detecting illness, right? But this isn't just superstition. Let me tell you about Sima, a 52-year-old woman from Blackburn. A few months ago, she noticed her cat acting strange, obsessively kneading one spot on her chest. At first, she brushed it off, thinking it was just quirky cat behavior. But then, weeks later, she got news that would change her life forever: breast cancer. And the strange part? It was right where her cat had been kneading all along. Coincidence? Maybe. But maybe your cat knows more than you think. And this isn't some one-off story. In 2021, Augie the cat made headlines for a similar reason. Augie's owner ignored her cat's strange behavior, brushing it off as nothing important. By the time she was diagnosed, her cancer had already advanced to stage 3. What if she had listened to Augie earlier? But it gets even more bizarre. Let's talk about Oscar, the cat who could literally smell death. In 2007, Oscar lived in a retirement home, and he didn't just comfort residents, he predicted over 100 deaths. That's because whenever Oscar curled up next to someone, it was a sign they were about to pass. And the staff witnessed it happen again and again. No one could explain it, but it kept happening. How are they doing this? What gives them this incredible ability? Before we get into the science, let's start with something important. Cats aren't just cute and cuddly, they're natural-born hunters. They've got sharp instincts, and they're experts at picking up even the tiniest changes in their environment, and that includes you. So when your health takes even the slightest turn, trust me, your cat notices. But that's only part of the story. Here's where it gets really fascinating. Cats have a secret weapon: their noses. Yeah, we all know dogs are great at sniffing out things like cancer, but guess what? Cats are even better at it. Their noses are finely tuned to pick up on changes in body chemistry. Let me break it down. Humans have just 2 variants of the V1R protein, which helps separate one scent from another. Dogs have 9, but cats? They've got a whopping 30. It's like your cat has a radar, picking up signals that fly right under your radar. So, when your body chemistry changes, maybe from illness or stress, your cat is catching things you wouldn't even notice. And it's not just about smell. Cats have something even cooler: the vomeronasal organ. This lets them taste the air. So, when you're sick, stressed, or even pregnant, your body sends out signals that your cat can detect. They don't need fancy machines or doctors. They've got this built-in super sense that science is still trying to fully understand. How do cats react when you're sick? So, your cat knows something's off, but what happens next? Some cats turn into little furry doctors, sticking by your side and refusing to leave. And the best part? They don't just sense something's wrong, they actually try to help. Take Glenn Shulman from Texas, for example. Glenn has a rare, life-threatening condition that causes him to have daily seizures. According to USA Today, he's one of the oldest people living with it. But here's the incredible part. His life has been saved multiple times, not by doctors or fancy machines, but by his cat, Blake. One time, Glenn had a seizure in his sleep, and Blake bit his toes to wake him up. Another time, Glenn was just chilling in his living room, watching TV, when he started feeling weird. "I was sitting down when my arm started shaking," Glenn remembers. "Blake jumped into my lap. He stroked my arm, looked me in the eyes, and purred." At first, Glenn thought it was just a sweet moment, but then he realized Blake wasn't just offering comfort. He was warning him about an oncoming seizure, giving Glenn those crucial moments to react before it became life-threatening. And Blake's not alone. In 2022, Billy the cat literally saved his owner, Sam Felstead, from a heart attack. It was around 4:30 a.m. when Billy suddenly jumped onto her chest, pounding his paws like crazy and meowing nonstop. At first, Sam was groggy and confused. This wasn't like Billy at all. But he didn't stop. His frantic behavior jolted her awake. Then it hit her. Sharp pain shot down her side, and she realized she couldn't move. Panicked, she called out to her mom, Karen, for help. Later, doctors confirmed she was in the middle of a heart attack. Without Billy, things could have been a lot worse. But here's where it gets even crazier. In 2006, NBC News reported a story with the headline, "Hero Cat, apparently dials 911 to help owner. Yeah, you read that right, 911. So, here's what happened. Police received a silent 911 call and traced it to an apartment. When they got there, they found the owner unable to move, completely immobilized by a stroke. But here's the wild part. A tabby cat was sitting right next to the phone, the very same phone that had placed the call. Now, there were no witnesses, and police didn't dive deep into whether the cat actually dialed 911, but the owner shared something pretty amazing. Turns out, he had trained his cat to dial 911 in emergencies, just in case. He'd always leave the phone on the floor, within the cat's reach. Whether it was a lucky coincidence or not, it's hard to ignore how incredible that is. Signs your cat knows something's up. So how do you know if your cat's picking up on something? Here are a few signs to watch for. Extra clinginess. If your usually independent kitty suddenly turns into your personal shadow, sticking to you like glue, it's time to pay attention. Cats often sense subtle changes in their environment. And yes, that includes you. So when your cat won't leave your side, they could be picking up on something that hasn't even crossed your mind yet. Over-purring. We all love a good purr session, but when your cat starts purring like they're on overdrive, it might mean more than just contentment. Some cats seem to turn up the purring when their humans are sick or in pain, almost as if they're trying to soothe you with those calming vibrations. It's like they're saying, "Don't worry, I've got you." Protective behavior. Then there are the cats who go full-on guardian mode. Some stay close, lick you, or even try to tuck you in by covering you with blankets. A lot of people notice their cats become obsessed with sitting on their stomachs during the early stages of pregnancy. Even cats who were never big on lap naps before suddenly find your belly to be the perfect cozy spot. It's like they've taken up a new role as your furry bodyguard. But here's the twist. Not all cats go into caretaker mode. Some may distance themselves when they sense something's up. It sounds strange, but this instinct comes from their wild ancestors, who would hide when they felt vulnerable or sick. So, if your cat seems more distant than usual, don't take it personally. It might be their way of coping with the changes they're picking up on. So, the next time your cat acts strange, don't brush it off as just cat behavior. They might be trying to tell you something important. After all, they've saved lives before. Maybe yours could be next. Got a story of your own? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching The Unbeatable Cat. If you love learning about your cats, hit that subscribe button for more fascinating insights. See you in the next video.